just wait until you finish dealing with some circumstances, and then after that's out the way, keep everything behind and just look forward to the future. As you said, listen to JoJo's story. Everybody goes through something. That's what's going to make them who they're going to be in the future and whatnot. He can go any coach in the world that he wanted to go to.
So first of all, Tank, this is the Tank era. When did this era start?
Probably like a little over.
Coach Calvin Ford is finally speaking out about why Gervonta Davis left his team, and his comments make Tank's recent changes feel even more serious.
It's changing right in front of our face, and everybody's feeling it. So I want to see what's the next waves coming.
For years, Calvin Ford was one of the most important people in Tank's corner. He helped shape his career, develop his skills, and build the style that made him one of boxing's most dangerous fighters. So when Gervonta Davis started working with a new trainer, fans immediately wanted to know what happened behind the scenes. That is why Calvin's comments carry so much weight. This is not just about changing gyms. It is about trust, growth, direction, and whether Tank felt he needed a different voice for the next chapter of his career. Now, the bigger question is whether Tank left to evolve as a fighter or because something within the team had changed. Either way, when Calvin Ford speaks, the boxing world pays attention. Then Jose Benavidez Sr. shared a post confirming a major change in Tank's camp. According to the post, Gervonta Davis is now training with Jose Benavidez Sr., signaling a move away from longtime trainer Calvin Ford.
10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, 1 more.
That is why this story immediately grabbed attention. Calvin was never just another trainer to Tank. He was one of the key figures behind his rise, his style, and his development into one of boxing's biggest stars. So when Jose Benavidez Sr. revealed that Tank was now training with him, fans immediately began asking what really happened behind the scenes. Did Tank move on because he wanted a fresh voice? Did he feel he needed a different environment? Or is this part of a bigger reset before his next fight? That is what makes this change so significant. Tank is not simply changing training routines. He is changing the people around him at a crucial stage of his career. GDD Promotions offered more insight into why Gervonta Davis parted ways with longtime coach Calvin Ford, making the decision sound more strategic than personal. They posted, asterisk, I know a lot of people are asking why Gervonta Davis split from coach Calvin Ford. I can't reveal too much, but just know Tank made this decision to focus on his legacy, become a better fighter, and chase the biggest fights available. This isn't personal, it's business. Asterisk, that message changes how many fans view the split. Calvin played a huge role in Tank's rise, helping shape him into one of boxing's biggest stars. But according to that explanation, Tank's decision was about growth, legacy, and taking his career to another level, not disrespect. Boxing Massacre offered a much stronger opinion on Tank teaming up with Jose Benavidez Sr., arguing that the move could actually improve him. They claim Tank has always had elite skills, but questioned his mentality, suggesting Jose Sr. could strengthen that side of his game in ways Calvin Ford never did. While many fans disagreed with that assessment, it added even more debate over the coaching change. Sean Porter saw the situation differently. He believes Tank chose Jose Benavidez Sr. because he feels comfortable working with him. In Porter's view, a trainer change is not always about conflict or bad blood. Sometimes a fighter simply needs a new environment, a different voice, and fresh motivation. For Tank, entering a crucial stage of his career, that comfort and connection may be exactly what he feels he needs. It does not erase everything Calvin Ford accomplished. It simply suggests Tank believes Jose Benavidez Sr. is the right coach for the next chapter of his journey.
I feel like he's comfortable with Jose. And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's going to get this light flip up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, you know, when I'm ready to move, they move it. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
But Anthony Breland and Sean Zittel viewed the situation differently. They still believe Calvin Ford was the right coach for Gervonta Davis. In their eyes, Calvin was never just another trainer Tank left behind. He was a key part of the foundation, guiding Tank through the most important years of his career, understanding his style, and communicating with him in ways few coaches could. So even if Tank feels more comfortable with Jose Benavidez Sr. now, that does not mean Calvin was the problem. That is what made their opinion more balanced. They understood why Tank might want a fresh environment or a different voice, but they also made sure Calvin received credit for everything he had already done.
It's their business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford. Really, I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like that made no sense, man. Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off when he had promise. No offense, Truck. You know, much love to you. But when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent. He has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer. Even though Calvin didn't move the needle for Jahan Ingram over the weekend. Jahan Ingram lost to Devin Cushing. It didn't look like Calvin had a big impact on him winning. He wound up losing to Devin Cushing. Devin Cushing, bigger guy, anyways. But when I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system.
Then Fannin gave his take on why Gervonta Davis left coach Calvin Ford, and his perspective was different from everyone else's.
One of the reasons that he's no longer with Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. And I think it's an important thing to say because it's not all on Coach Calvin, it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta Davis. I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money.
According to Fannin, this move may not be only about training, comfort, or legacy. He suggested there were too many people talking, too many leaks, and too many snitches around the camp. That changes how fans view Tank's decision. If a fighter believes too much information is getting out, changing camps becomes more than a boxing move. It becomes a matter of trust.
Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself and saying, man, where is this coming from? Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff, and he started telling Kenny and Calvin, you know, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way, because they were appeasing Gervonta and Gervonta's desire to have that information kept in-house, right? So to the extent that they were having conversations that Gervonta Davis didn't want to have, they had nipped that in the bud several years ago. However, what happened is you have family members and other members in the gym that have connections with people that have Twitter pages, connections with people that have YouTube pages, and they continued, the people with the Twitter pages and the YouTube pages continue to pay these people money for inside information about Gervonta, and he got very distrustful.
For Tank, privacy matters. He is dealing with major fight talks, contract rumors, coaching changes, and pressure from every direction. So if he felt the old camp had too many people speaking on his business, leaving Calvin Ford's circle may have been his way of taking back control.
The problem with that, with Gervonta, is when you have spies around him, in his family, in the gyms in Baltimore, you have people that leak information that are trying to harm him, right? Because people may be saying, man, where is Gervonta right now? Oh, I can find out where Gervonta Davis is. Get on the phone, call our boy. Is he in Baltimore? Is he? Nah, man, he's not in Baltimore. He's still over there, and he's still in Florida. I heard last time I checked, he was at the gym. I gotta find me. I got him on my Find Me app. I can tell you where he is. And then all of a sudden, you got girls setting him up. And you got girls knowing exactly where he is, what he's doing. They can time him, set him up, all kind of stuff. Because he felt like he got set up in that last crime, in that last case, right? He's like, he can prove that this was a setup. Well, who's gonna help set him up? Well, paid informants in your gym. So that's why, a major reason why Gervonta was off looking for somebody else, looking for a new situation. So because he's obviously got, issues in Baltimore, he's got issues in Florida. So he's saying, look, man, I'm about to clear my deck, and I'm going to go out here. I'm going to train with somebody totally different, somebody in a different camp with different people around them that my family may not know, that these people on YouTube don't have access to.
Showbiz the adult reacted to Gervonta Davis leaving Coach Calvin Ford, and he viewed it as a decision fans should not be too quick to judge.
Just saw Jose Benavidez Sr. Instagram, and on his socials, he's showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out in this video and announcing and marketing the new Gervonta Tank Davis on Team Benavidez merchandise. Now, he had a few videos out there showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out and all those things, and I promise you, he could not have made this announcement without Gervonta Tank Davis's blessing. For me, this makes it official, their relationship. And Gervonta Tank Davis and David Benavidez, they've shared their mutual respect for each other. You can tell that there's a genuine like and respect that they have with each other. So I think it's going to be organic. And as far as what to expect from Gervonta Tank Davis going to Team Benavidez, listen, dude, I have personal experience training with those guys and their product in that gym. And I'm telling you, man, what jumps out more than the facility itself and the hyperbaric chambers and shit where you can recover, and of course the food. I mean, it's just chef-kissed, beautiful food over there. They definitely getting their grub on. But more than that, more than all of that, is really the family culture. Once you become a part of that team, you're like family.
Showbiz's point was that people are acting like they already know exactly what happened behind the scenes, when the truth is that nobody knows the full story. Tank may have left because he wanted a new voice, a different environment, or simply felt it was time to grow before the biggest fights of his career. He also spoke highly of the atmosphere in the Benavidez gym, saying it provides a positive environment that could help bring the best out of Tank.
Because the family culture is like the biggest part of being there and what makes Team Benavidez unique. But on top of all of that is the work ethic. I'm over there throwing my hands and shit. I mean, I got exhausted quick. And I'm saying, listen, I'm nowhere near fighter shape. But what I'm saying is they're going to teach you form, make you learn it right now, and practice it at a high pace. And that just killed.
Calvin and Kenny were also spending time training rapper Krazian Rock, and Tank may have felt their attention was no longer fully on boxing. For a fighter at Tank's level, that can make a difference. He is not just another boxer. He is one of the biggest stars in the sport. If he is preparing for legacy-defining fights, he needs everyone around him to be just as focused and committed as he is.
When I got jumped in Compton, I didn't have no fear in me, and I basically whooped everybody that intended on jumping me. I left without a scratch.
You're
And with
showing
all my
right.
chins, yeah.
But I mean, you're a gospel singer.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to fight for your life and defend yourself. So I wasn't going to lose my life, so I had to get to my car. Yeah.
That's a tough beginning to a story. no, that really is.
I couldn't believe because I didn't know her. You know what I'm saying? My wife watched her diligently, and I happened to peep at her show, and she got hot. But when she actually came in this gym, I felt the presence.
I mean, champions have trained in this ring, and this is where you're training now, and you're going to be fighting at Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, from being jumped in Compton to now signing a pro contract.
That is why some people believe Tank began to feel his career was no longer the top priority. If his coaches were spending time training Krazian Rock while he was preparing for major fights, he may have seen it as a sign that the camp had changed. According to one boxing news page, Calvin Ford said Gervonta Davis's relationship with him and Kenny Ellis reached a breaking point after they decided to train Krazian Rock. Tank reportedly felt they were focusing more on growing their own profile and working with others instead of giving his career their full attention. As all of this unfolds, the boxing world is now focused on Gervonta's return to the ring. Gary Russell Jr. believes Tank still has all the talent in the world, but the biggest question is his focus. He has the power, speed, timing, and boxing IQ to beat almost anyone when fully locked in. After the coaching change, the outside noise, and all the speculation surrounding his future, fans are eager to see which version of Gervonta Davis returns.
If Pitbull fight me and I smack his ass, then what are you gonna say? And let's see whose performance is more dominant. Since at this point, clearly motherfuckers ain't trying to willingly just fight me. I gotta beat somebody ass, you know what I'm saying, to show you that I beat his ass better than you. But if we can do that, that's cool.
So you go to 40 to fight Pitbull Cruz at 40.
I'm a fighter. I'll fight him. Would I fight him at 40? Yeah, I fight him at 40. You know, would I campaign at 40? No, I wouldn't.
But for him,
personally,
yeah, it's different.
Fuck yeah. I campaign at 40 just for that. I see him at 40 specifically for that, and then I go right back down to 35.
You know, me asking certain fighters about that comment that, you know, Tank said, I think I asked Matias. Matias said, you know, most likely Tank seen something in the performance, and that's why he said he would want to come back to fight Pitbull Cruz. What do you think that is, if that is the case?
I mean, he probably seen how easy it is to be able to outbox Pitbull. He's slow in his feet. He's a good man. Don't get me wrong.
Like, it's not the same Pitbull as the one that he fought before?
Greg Hackett gave a strong warning about Gervonta Davis's return, and his message was simple. Somebody is probably getting knocked out.
What do you think about his return?
I mean, it was just happy Tank coming back. Tank's excited. All the guys are excited. Tank. There's always a big question mark. Tank in the ring. Somebody like you knock the fuck out. I mean, I just hope it's a good guy. Somebody you respect. I mean, he's been off for a while. How long has it been? Year and a half, 2 years?
This has been a year.
Year?
Yeah, he's only fought once in I think like 2 years.
He fought a lot, right? Yeah. So, for Big Boy at that. All right, yeah. So, you know, I see. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a real good one. It should be one of them, though. It should be one of them or somebody. I'm not really hyped about Pitbull if it is Pitbull. You know what I mean? I can't say I'm hyped.
Then Bill Haney spoke about a potential Gervonta Davis versus Devin Haney showdown, and his message was clear. The fight is there if Tank truly wants to make it happen.
Make you a believer, and we want to do all that we can do to make these big bad fights happen. And I think that that's what Devin has shown. You know, on the list, Tank Davis, he sets at probably the number one. I mean, we've been had back and forth. I think that when you talk about him fighting a Jake Paul, if that was realistic, there's no realistic weight that Jake Paul could have ever come down to Devin's walk-around weight. So I consider this as real. Me and Al have had discussions. That's made it even more real. Never has anyone said anything about any dehydration, rehydration, or anything for that matter. So I think that it should be, and what it should be, is a fair fight. You know, and that weight is to be determined. But it won't be anything under 144 pounds for nobody in the world.
Yo, Bill.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my man?
Hey, King.
That's Dre.
It's Berto.
I know. King Dre.
That's right. Hey, yo, so recently you said something. You said that Shakur would be easy work for Devin. That sounded crazy to a lot of us. Is that you just speaking that
Well,
way?
it's harder. Listen, it's harder to get him in. It's harder to get him in the ring. It's been a fight to get him in the ring. I think that's going to be the hardest part for Debo to get him in the ring than to actually be in the ring.
On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson remains another possible opponent for Gervonta Davis. And Max Kellerman recently shared his thoughts on a potential Tank versus Shakur matchup, calling it one of the most intriguing style clashes in boxing.
Shakur versus Tank Davis. Tank never seemed particularly interested in making it happen. But since then, Shakur has ascended and now would seem to offer Tank a bigger reward for the risk than used to be the case. Shakur Tank. Is that still the biggest of all the possibilities in and around this weight class? Or has it been supplanted by Shakur and Devin?
Great point. You're right that Shakur has really elevated himself to a point that Tank would probably consider it, especially after the way Tank struggled against Roach. But I still think the biggest fight in this neighborhood is unquestionably the rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. We can't forget.
Meanwhile, Terrence Crawford explained why he believes Shakur Stevenson would beat Gervonta Davis if they ever fought. He also shared why he thinks Tank may never agree to face Shakur.
If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Y'all was doing the back and forth shit. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. You know, I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, you know, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's, you know, using what he got to shield him. You know, like he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, you know what I mean, he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations he wouldn't be acting like.
Then Carmelo Anthony asked Shakur Stevenson the question boxing fans keep asking. Will he ever fight Gervonta Davis? Shakur did not sound like someone avoiding the matchup. He made it clear that Tank is one of the biggest names in boxing, and that is exactly why fans want to see it. But Shakur also understands this fight is about more than calling someone out. It comes down to timing, business, weight, money, and whether both sides are truly willing to make it happen.
Do you ever think we'll see you in Tank? Realistically.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't really like talking about him.
Yeah.
Cause like the way that he move is goofy to me. Like it's some weird shit. So like, I really don't like speaking on him. But like, if same thing that
fighting perspective.
Same thing that I said with T.O. If anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got.
Yeah.
I stand by that with anybody.
It's gonna go in there and just knock out Shakur. It's gonna
That's
be,
not gonna happen.
But it didn't take. It should have taken this fight.
I knew he couldn't.
For people to realize.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew that too. But yeah.
Shakur is a defensive specialist.
And I've been saying this for a long time. If you pay attention to how Tank will react whenever Shakur's name came up, I was like, yo, it's something that Tank knows that most people don't know or understand. There's something that he sees in Shakur. It could be the fact that Shakur was a 2016 silver medalist. You know,
He's got a lot to do with it.
He's that, you know, the silver child of the country, and you know, there's no telling. But this is what I've always known. It ain't just a big straight left or a big left right hook coming from Tank that's going to end that night. That night is going to be the most strategical you've seen both these guys ever be in a fight. I don't know if we're going to ever get it.
I think we will.
You think we will, huh?
For sure. Who else is there for if Tank trying to prove he's still the man? Who else you gonna fight?
I try to get a message to Tank for him to like make sure he understood. Like when you get past this legal situation, he's feel me on this. Tell me if y'all feel me on this. He's gonna be just like Mike Tyson was when Mike came out of jail. Everybody
gonna be waiting for him.
Mike was the meanest thing before he went away.
Before you go, be sure to check out the other videos on your screen for more boxing news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates.